Hello, welcome to the CEO DGLA YouTube channel.
Okay, let's talk about something you probably have in your kitchen right now. Onions and garlic. I mean, they're the start of so many amazing meals, right? But get this, what if I told you these everyday staples are at the heart of a massive debate, a real clash between modern science and ancient wisdom? And that's really the big question we're digging into today. Are they these incredible superfoods just packed with health benefits? Or could they actually be an obstacle, something that gets in the way of mental peace and clarity? It's a total puzzle.
So that right there is the paradox. How can one thing be seen in two completely opposite ways? Let's break it down.
So you've got modern science on one side, basically calling them superfoods, but then you have ancient traditions like Ayurveda and yoga, and they use words like tamasic and rajasic. Now those are qualities that are said to either dull your mind or make it really agitated. I mean, it's a total clash of ideas. So what's the deal here? Is one side right and the other wrong? Or maybe the truth is a bit more nuanced. We're going to look at both sides so you can figure out what makes the most sense for you.
All right, let's jump right in. First up, let's see what modern science has to say. And the evidence here is, well, it's pretty powerful, and it's all about our physical health.
Let's start with onions. So scientifically speaking, they're loaded with powerful antioxidants, which, are amazing for your overall health. They also help thin your blood, which can seriously reduce the risk of a heart attack. Plus, they're known to boost your immune system, help with digestion, and even keep blood sugar in check. That's a lot of good stuff.
And the secret ingredient, if you will, is a compound called quercetin. It's this super powerful antioxidant that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting, especially when it comes to fighting inflammation and protecting your heart.
Okay, now for garlic. This stuff is a natural powerhouse. I mean, it's famous for fighting off all sorts of nasty things, bacteria, viruses, even fungi. It's also incredibly good at lowering cholesterol and helping to manage blood pressure. And some research is even starting to show it might have cancer-fighting properties. Wow! And what's the secret weapon in garlic? It's a compound called allicin. You know that strong, pungent smell you get when you crush garlic? That's allicin. And it's exactly what makes it such a powerful bug fighter and so good for your heart. So the bottom line from science is crystal clear. When it comes to your physical body, onions and garlic are absolute rock stars. No question about it. But that's only half the story.
All right, let's completely switch gears now. We're going to look at this from the perspective of Ayurveda, which is this ancient system of medicine that doesn't just look at the body. It considers the mind and the spirit just as important.
Okay, so to get the Ayurvedic view, you have to understand two words, tamasic and rajasic. Think of them as energies or qualities in food. Rajasic foods, like maybe coffee or super spicy things, they kind of hype you up, make you feel restless. Tamasic foods, like maybe heavy, greasy stuff, can make you feel sluggish or dull. And here's the kicker. Ayurveda says onions and garlic have both of these qualities. So from this angle, instead of a list of benefits, you get a list of cautions. Ayurveda says they increase something called pitta, which basically means heat, acidity, and irritation in your body. They're also thought to stir up the mind, which is why they're seen as a no-go for things like meditation. And get this, they might even lead to a heavier, less refreshing sleep.
But here's where it gets really interesting. A little twist. Even with all those warnings, Ayurveda does not call them bad or poison, not even close. Instead, it just changes their category. It says, hey, this isn't for everyday food, this is powerful medicine.
And that just shows you how nuanced this view is. See, if you're on a spiritual path and you're trying to find mental calm, they're seen as an obstacle. But if you're fighting off an infection or have some digestive issues, well, then they're seen as a powerful medicine. It's all about the context. The why you're using them is everything. Okay, so we've got two totally different but both valid points of view. So how on earth do you decide what's right for you? Well, that's what we're going to get into next. A little practical guide for you.
Let's break it down. So, consider eating them if you're dealing with things like heart issues, high blood pressure, or diabetes. If you have a weaker immune system or do a lot of heavy physical work, the science says go for it. On the other hand, you might want to consider avoiding them if you're a serious meditator, if you have what Ayurveda calls a pitta or fiery body type that's prone to acidity, or, and this is important, if you're already on blood-thinning medication. And hey, if you do decide they're for you, how you eat them can make a big difference. Quick tips. For garlic, it's probably best not to eat it raw on an empty stomach. It's pretty intense. Lightly cooking it is usually the way to go. Onions, they're fantastic raw in salads, especially in the summer. But a good rule of thumb for both is just, moderation.
Maybe don't eat a huge bowl of raw onions right before bed because, yeah, that can cause some gas.
Okay, let's bring this all home, because at the end of the day, this decision is all yours.
So here it is, the two truths side by side. The scientific truth: onions and garlic are amazing for your physical body. The Ayurvedic truth: they can stir up the body and the mind, which might get in the way of spiritual clarity. The key thing to realize is that neither one is wrong. They're just focused on completely different goals.
And what that really means is there is no single right answer for everyone. The best choice is going to be totally personal. It depends on your lifestyle, what your body's like, and what your personal goals are. It's about listening to your body and figuring out what works for you.
So I'll leave you with this question. What is your priority right now? Is it boosting your physical health, or is it finding more mental peace? Your answer to that single question, well, that's how you solve the onion and garlic debate for yourself.
Dhanyavad. Thank you. If you like this video, do like, subscribe and share. See you in the next one. Bye bye.